Berated B-rated movies. Well, thank you for being here. We're here with Jorge Delarosa, the director of Hellvan.
Yeah.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's a movie.
Yeah. No, it's a really cool movie. Like this is the kind of movie we kind of like shoot for when we look at movies. It's fun. It's,
Hello, dude.
a lot of there's a lot going on, easy to watch.
No, I think that was a good thing too. Like we get caught up with all of the Hollywood movies where everybody is a killer. Everybody does the same thing. Everybody knows that the killer has a machete. Like, I don't have any machetes in my house, so I'm pretty sure that I'll never be murdered. So when it comes up with other concepts of movies that turn out to be, like fun, like good concepts, like there's ones that come out like Killer Kites, for instance, was a funny movie where you're like, you know what, like you kind of give up. Like I've told Anthony this and other people, like I kind of gave up on hope for movies like when my son gets old enough to go watch movies, because we've already done every natural disaster, every killer, every animal has killed people, like everything like that. And so you're just like, what else can we do? And now the indie films like yours, Hellvan and Killer Kites and Carousel and stuff like that, like just such great ideas and concepts of it that you actually just like, dude, I'll 100% watch these movies instead of, oh, there's another killer in the woods.
Got an idea
with the machetes.
Yep, you get an idea and you roll with it. Better than a fan film.
Yeah. Yes, we had a fan film. It was all right, but again, it comes through with the whole, well, I guess we'll start off with the question then, like, where'd it come from? Like, where's the idea, the concept?
Well, from a lot of, this is one of those truth is stranger than fiction. First of all, I grew up in vans. My father was a musician.
Nice.
I've always his love of vans has translated into my love of vans. So I've always had a van. And then, as a filmmaker, for a long time, I've had the idea of making a killer van movie. And but it took a long time for the idea to lock in what, how, and why it was a killer. And I had this black Dodge Ram van, and it died on me, and I was like, shit. And I had to save because I was going to film with that, and I saved a whole summer. And then one night I was drunk on eBay, and like 2 a.m, and I bought this van, and it was red. It wasn't black, but it was red, and it was low mileage.
Excuse me.
And it belonged to the fire department of the city of Opp, Alabama.
What?
And so I went down to Alabama, and I picked up the van with my friend, the gas station, one of the gas station idiots in the movie. Anyways, we drove it back home, and about an hour away from home, the engine blew up. And so we had the van towed to my mechanic's house, and his house burnt down. The mechanic's house burnt down.
Good
and
God.
the reality of the van belonging to a fire department, and then my mechanic having that tragedy coinciding with the van.
It was just a trifecta.
It was like, well, this is the story. I was like, I don't like, that's what was able to like unlock the actual story for me. But it was like, why is the van a killer? And it was like, I didn't want to repeat Christine, and so I kind of let reality dictate to me what was happening, if that makes sense.
So I just searched it. It says that was that an 11-hour drive
to Opp? Yeah. So we went down. We had a rental car. We took the rental car there, and we got the van, and then we went to Florida to see my mom, and then after going to Florida, we drove back home, and that's when it happened.
Those road trips, but road trips in a van, man, those aren't that bad. I swear, when I was a kid,
and there is no cruise control, and there is no air conditioning in that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was fairly grueling, that trip.
Oh no. So we had a friend once that her boyfriend had like a nice, like brand new Audi Quattro, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go give this to somebody, and then they're gonna trade me like a collector's, like old school. I can't remember if it was a BMW or a Mercedes." And so they drove 4.5 hours to go pick it up, but they're like, "Hey, we just tinted the windows, and the AC is broke. So in the middle of summer, you got to drive all the way back to Vegas in that heat with the windows up and no AC." And the
Uh,
guy, like, I don't know. I'm not a car person, like I like Lamborghinis and Ferraris, like, a bunch of people, but this dude like wore a business suit every day. And so like me, I was like, dude, you got an Audi Quattro. Like that looks like a professional car. If you rolled up to our me in like a 1985, like,
right.
I'd be like, what are you doing, man? But anyways, no,
He traded down. You're saying he traded down.
in my eyes and everybody else's eyes, except for his,
Yeah.
100% he did.
Well, he had it. Love is love, man. You can't argue with it.
But I can understand like the van. Like I swear, though, when we were younger, our friends had a van, but like the backseat, like must have been the most illegal and dangerous thing I've ever seen in my life. Where it was just a big like U-shaped seat in the back. It could fit like 13 kids.
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like
That's awesome. That's a
dude,
family. It's a freaking family vehicle, right?
go grab everything you could ever need in a van. But
There's a trend. I think that I may have been slightly ahead of the trend uh, of killer van movies coming out. Like that movie, The Black Phone. There's a van in that. I haven't seen it yet.
that's on our list.
And somebody's raising money for a movie called Vampire.
What?
Have you heard of that one? Yeah, Vampire. That makes sense. And then
I mean, that's a funny name.
right. I don't know. And then the guy that directed Mosquito. His name is Gary Jones, and I just got to meet him, and he was like, "I'm making a killer van movie."
What? Need to hurry
Yeah,
up
I
and
know. Yeah. So I was like, maybe I got lucky and I'm slightly ahead of the curve.
you need to change the opening scene now. You need to say the first killer van movie.
Well, it's not.
See? What?
There's a movie. Yeah, there's a movie called Creep Van. You ever seen Creep Van?
Nope, but apparently it's going on our list though.
I think they made that out of Detroit or somewhere in
It's
Michigan.
just a normal car, I think, in Detroit.
Yeah, but I own it. I did my homework. I was like, okay, because the killer vehicle horror movie, it's a subgenre, and there aren't very many of them, and so I'm pretty happy to have contributed to that subgenre of horror.
Yeah, because I did kind of like catch the Christine-esque kind of thing going on there with the stalking killer van, and then the other one that like I might be off on it, but I thought I saw was like possibly like a little bit of a Night of the Comet type reference, or The Fog in there as well with the radio announcer.
I thought I was getting more of a Warriors. Like I was like waiting for her to be like, yeah, motherfuckers. Here's a
I'm gonna do a little bit of a spoiler here for Hellvan Part 2.
Uh-oh.
And that I was able to meet Joel Weiss, who was an actor in the original The Warriors.
Wow.
He played a character named Cropsy.
Oh, okay.
And I gave him a copy of Hellvan with my phone number in it, and he actually watched it, and he loved it, and so I'm writing him as a main character in Hellvan 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm pretty. It was the Warriors reference, but it was also there's a movie called Vanishing Point. There's a blind DJ in that movie that I'm a fan of, and I liked the wild way he spoke, and I tried to capture that a little bit too. So.
It kept us guessing, man. Like
Yeah.
Anthony and I, we try to. I think the movie Saw ruined it for me personally. Where like after you figure out like, okay, if he says, okay, we're gonna play a game, just talk for 10 minutes, your kid will be okay, and then all you have to do is talk. So we watch movies where it's like, okay, for sure, this DJ, the radio person, is going to be in on something, or the DJ is going to be in the back of the van, or this is going to happen. So it always like it was great put together, man. Like it kept us guessing. Well, me, Anthony's probably like, shut up, Brian. But
No,
like,
I was guessing. Yeah.
yeah, like we kept guessing, like, okay, this is going to happen, and then it didn't happen. Where it's like, God damn it, like that didn't happen. So it's very it's easy watch. It's good, and and then I guess if I could give any advice is don't try to guess. Just watch the movie, man, because you're never gonna guess what's gonna happen. Like,
oh, that's a compliment.
no, it was awesome. Like I said, like we try to guess to, and I was like, dude, for sure this radio person has something to do with it. But yeah, we're not doing spoilers, really. Just kidding. There's a spoiler. There's a radio person in the movie.
Yeah, there's a DJ.
No.
And there's rock and roll in the movie. It was an excuse to have rock and roll in the movie.
It was. I thought it was gonna have to give a little spoiler. Did the police and the fire people have the same station? Is that how small that town was?
Yeah, they shared.
Damn. I could only imagine how much, because I have police friends and I have fireman friends, and they're always like, fuck that guy. You're like, what? Where everybody's on the same team. But then for them to do it in the same station, that's amazing.
So the movie takes place in Midway, Texas, and there actually is a Midway, Texas.
Really?
99%, 99% of the movie was shot in Kent, Ohio, or around around Northeast Ohio. But I had a job in Houston, maybe in 2018, I think, or 2019, and I flew down a day early with my cameras, and I drove up to Midway, Texas, and filmed a bunch of exteriors for one day. So it tried to marry Texas and Ohio as like one entity, and I did an okay job, I think.
I think you did a good job, because I wouldn't have known otherwise. I thought most of it was pretty Texas-like.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we tried we hammered the point across. The license plate said Texas, and the badges
everybody had those
Texas.
Cowboy hats.
Everybody had the cowboy hats.
Boom.
Provided by a country western store. The guy who rips his eyeballs out.
Damn it.
His family owns a country western store called the Clippity Clop.
Really?
Yeah, they provided the cowboy hats and the cowboy boots.
I have a family in Texas, and my brother-in-law, hope it doesn't, offend Anthony, but I'm really not the biggest cowboy person, Like I usually just like, dude, don't listen to country music. If I ever get into a car that's like, what do you want to listen to? I was like, anything but country music. Like literally. If you put on jazz, I'd be like, fuck, that sucks, but I guess. But if you put in country, I'd be like, please change it. So I have brother-in-law and my sister, obviously, they live in Texas. So Clippity Clop.
That's in Ohio. That's in Ohio.
Oh, it's not in Texas. Okay. No, well, that scene that you just mentioned of him ripping his eyes out, that's probably like one of the sadder scenes in that entire movie. I was like, no, that guy can't do that. So there's that one, and then the end one. I'm not going to say anything else. Those two, you're just like, what are you doing? That can't happen. No, those are it's going against it. Those ones shouldn't have ever happened. But the eyes one, it was really sad for me. I was like, oh, that guy's gone. Like, I really like that guy.
So that actor, his mother did the special effects on that. His mother was the old lady in the wheelchair. And they've been making movies. He and his mom have been making movies since he was a kid. Wow. And he has a whole catalog of horror movies.
Damn.
He made right out of high school, he makes a good zombie movie called Welcome to Deer Creek. And then I meet him in college and help him edit a movie called Tonight You Die. And then he and I have been working really together nonstop since 2011, I think. So, yeah, his company is called Blind Sight Productions. When this wraps up, I'll send you guys a link to all the trailers of his movies. But yeah, he's like a veteran filmmaker, indie filmmaker, writer, director.
That's awesome. Sorry, I'm looking over here taking notes as fast as I can. I suck at typing.
Sorry.
I'm already jumping ahead and getting some movie ideas.
There were a lot of I purposely had a lot of other filmmakers a part of the film because they're easy to work with because they've been doing it themselves, and they intuitively know what I'm asking for, but also as a way to promote their work. So the cop who shoots himself in the balls.
God damn it, that scene.
Did you enjoy that scene?
It gets in the other guy's eyes like dick blood. Damn. And then that's the last thing that you that's the last thing that goes through your mind before you die, how they died. I'm not going to say how they died, but that's the last thing that goes through your mind is your partner's dick blood all in your face and eyes and mouth.
So that the guy who shoots himself in the balls, he's been an actor for a long time, and he made a pretty good necrophilia movie called Her Name Was Krista. And the other guy, the guy who gets the ball juice in the eyes, his name is Tim Novotny, and he made a movie. He's made a bunch of movies, but one of them is called his new one is, I think, is called Mephistopheliac. Oh, Pharisee. It's like a sexy vampire movie. There's a lot of tits and a lot of blood.
There we go.
Yeah. So Tim Novotny and James L. Edwards, those were the two cops in that scene, and they're both filmmakers.
Wow, that's awesome. Now there's yeah, like I said, like it just seemed like they were so like everybody was from a small town. I know that like it always sounds so weird, like when we say it, but it's like it really made it feel like everything was in there. Like we've seen movies where there's like siblings, and we're like, are those people siblings by any chance? There's like, no, they're just actors, and they're just like, fuck, it looked really good. So it really looked. You get that small feeling, that small town feeling in that movie. Like everybody in there was like, yeah, this is where we really grew up in Midtown.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. I tried hard to get that feeling.
Oh yeah, no, you killed it. It was it felt like authentic regional horror, which
it's like there's like small towns that we grew up in.
I think a lot of people are afraid to go that direction because then it feels super specific, but at the same time everybody goes generic. So like when you do, it almost sets you apart.
It would
also makes it so much easier.
I grew up. They say to write what you know, and I grew up in a small town. That's kind of something that felt real to me.
No,
and I told the cast and crew, it's a silly movie. It's a movie about a killer van. But I said, hey, as long as we take this seriously, like it's actually happening, like then the audience, will forgive us.
Yeah,
as long as we're not looking into the camera and winking.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those, and
then I think the audience would say, "Fuck you, movie." Yeah.
No, there's I think the only time like it just makes it so much easier for you to actually try to put yourself in their position. Like if you can actually relate to it, like that's the thing. Like I can't relate to, Freddy versus Jason in Mars or in space, because I've never been to space. But I have been in a small town where there's creepy vans that go around, and like that's the first thing. I think that when you go to kindergarten, I think that they teach you, hey, don't go near creepy vans, right? And now you just hammered it home. Things. It is, especially like white ones with no windows. Like that's like the biggest rule in everything. Like don't go near vans. And so for you to actually be like, hey, we're going to take it one step further where you just have to look at the van or look in the van. Another thing too that I kind of got a feel for that was, Pulp Fiction, right? Because
Yeah.
every single time they looked into the van, there's just this glowing gold light that's coming out, and you're just like, what the hell is that? Like, freaking show it. But then you don't want it to, because then you're going to end up, you know, lighting something on fire or shooting somebody in the stomach on the toilet, or
Right.
you know, something bad's going to happen if you look at that van, unfortunately.
It's there's another film reviewer. His name is Dave Parker out of Toledo, I believe, and he equated the van to a gateway to hell, a portable gateway to hell, and he said that there are only seven of them in film lore, I think. And so,
Yeah.
and he's got, so in movies he knows about 3 of them, and he's saying Hellvan is the 4th one that he can say is a gateway to hell. That's kind of interesting, I think.
Yeah,
I kind of got that a little bit. The whole gateway thing, because you keep in those like flash or cuts to like another room with like the strange imagery, and I was like, this is really strange. It's really weird.
It's another, like, that's another point too, is like Anthony and I, we talk about how there's like the scare factor of, you know what, like you're in the forest and there's somebody that's chasing you. That's a scare factor. And then there's the gore, you know, which is just gory. And then there's like the creepiness. I have another fucking sneeze cone on. But I can't remember what other movie we just recently watched, but the creepy factor of it, like how you threw in, like when it kept doing those flashbacks, you're just like, God, what the hell? And then it just adds the creepiness to the messed up van that's going around killing shit, or, you know, participating in the stuff. Like, good, like how you tied that together too. How every time that something was going on, there's like, oh shit, here's that van again. And then that creepy thing, like if Gabe from The Office could have seen your movie first before he made that stupid movie for, you know what I'm talking, you know, there's somebody.
What movie is this?
So there, it's the TV show The Office. Like Gabe tried to do something scary where he started putting like the creepy views in it, and you're just like, that's just as stupid, you know. But yours, how you started putting, like every time somebody would look into the van, all of a sudden you do those flashback or those the images or something going on where it switches to the creepy, like,
it's like the art house element of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was
where
really cool.
The yellow background and all that stuff that's going on in the back, like you're adding the creepiness to the scariness and the gore. Like it's all tied together very well, man.
Thank you. You know, that set, it's just plywood with like a coat of yellow paint on it. And I could have sanded it down and, you know, filled in the holes and put multiple coats of paint on it. But as like an inside joke, I thought, you know, that a poorly constructed set would be a set designer's hell. And that's what the hell scene was. Most of those scenes took place in those poorly constructed, like, I mean, I just slapped plywood together and slapped paint on it and said, yep, that's the set.
But it makes it look.
And the set designer is going to watch it and think like, oh, I hate this. I fucking hate this. They didn't do anything.
But it adds to it. Like, that's the thing. It's like it adds to the creepy factor of it, you know? Like,
oh,
good job.
What do you think of the old man at the beginning?
Have you ever seen the music video I Think You Freaky?
No.
There's a video called I Think You Freaky and I Like You a Lot. Have you ever seen the movie Chappie, about a robot that?
Oh, no, I didn't see that one, but I like that director.
So that the characters in there's I think they're called Antwood, is a band.
Oh, yeah.
Antwood. So they have a music video called I Think You Freaky. And when that old man, the beginning, I was like, God damn it. Like, this reminds me of Antwood, that I Think You Freaky. But that's another part. You start out the movie too with them eating all gross like that, and you're just like, God damn, that's just starting off in the creepy, like setting the tone for the movie. Like, hey, this is what's going to go on. There's already some.
This is good. I'm glad that landed for you guys, or for you at least. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was solid, man. Like it started off high with like, hey, guess what? This is going to be some creepiness and some grossness going on.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna mention the thing that like the thing I enjoyed a lot was the gory like the goriness of it. The like I think I've mentioned it a couple times that the sloppy gore kind of like gets to me a little bit and messes with me because you're not supposed to see that. Like it's not supposed to exist. So it kind of like it's kind of like a hyper gore or a hyper reality in a sense.
Right. Yeah, hardcore. I'm a member of a group called Hardcore Core, and that's been fairly inspirational to me as far as like what other filmmakers are doing in the gore community, and it's like, wow, man, I need to step up my game. I don't think my movie is gory enough.
I mean, I kind of feel like you rode like a nice line. It's not too much. It's not like too little.
We're gonna do more. We got to go bigger and better.
All right.
I'd like to, like I don't know. You probably did this on purpose, obviously, but the details to the movie, though, when the shotgun scene, and it even has the sound of the porcelain breaking on the ground.
Oh yeah,
shotgun scene like that. Yeah. Like when it happens, you're like, "What was that for?" And then all of a sudden, it shows what it was for. You're just like, fuck, like that's that's the detail that you went into it and showed. And so even when it showed him and whatever was on the wall, like that's the detail of it, and the gore and everything was solid, man.
Thank you. That set was built in almost all the sets were built here in this garage.
Oh wow.
So the gas station bathroom was here in the garage. The insane asylum was here in the garage. The hell scene, the hell set was here in the garage. The DJ set was here in the garage. I'm trying to think.
Wow.
That's nuts, dude.
That's pretty versatile.
Yeah. You had a big room with 4 walls, and like, all right, let's start building, and then, which is kind of nice because you can control the environment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but my neighbor has a muscle car, so I hear it every time he turns it on. He turns it on a lot. So
they're like, now we're gonna film a horror movie right here in my garage.
Yeah, well, you do. Yeah, just start building sets.
That's crazy.
The sheriff's awesome, the sheriff's station. When the old sheriff and the dispatch girl are having that conversation.
Yeah,
that's here in the garage.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
You know what we should ask? I didn't even think about this, but the black guy and his girlfriend, was that by any chance his last day before he retired? There's the ongoing thing. We're just like, damn it. Call out sick on your last day of work, everybody. Call out sick. Right. I don't care what you do for work. Your last day of work. Michael Scott it. Call out sick. Do not go to work because you probably won't make it the entire shift.
So the tow truck driver, he's a great friend of mine, and he and I worked together for about 20 years almost. And he's not an actor. That's his first time acting in this movie.
Oh wow!
And, yeah, I think he did a good job.
Oh, he did.
The old sheriff, by the way, I wanted to say this. I wasn't supposed to be in the movie. The old sheriff, the old Native American, 70-year-old genuine Native American. He was supposed to be, the badass of the movie, and COVID hit, and it put him in the hospital for 3 months, and then when he got out, he had no energy. For about a year he was on his ass. He didn't have the strength to keep. And we'd already filmed with him. It was like, well, shit, what do we do? So the reason the beginning of the movie is kind of clunky is we had to write some extra scenes to like work around that, and like the whole
Figure out why.
he and I having an argument. Like I was like, I look like I could be his son. We're gonna say I'm his son, and but the good news is, he got healthy, and he was able to come back, and we wrote new scenes for him, so it would all kind of make sense. Yeah. So, but I wasn't supposed to be the star of the movie or the hero of the movie. He was. Yeah.
Nope. Then we said no spoilers. The end of it. So
yeah, we didn't say no spoilers. We just said if it happens, it happens. The audience will forgive us.
Yeah.
Right. Let's make sure. If you don't watch this, well, we can't say right now, stop listening to this and go watch the movie real quick. It's like, what the hell? We're like 30 minutes into it. No.
No.
Right.
But I was going to ask about the mental asylum. Like, it was easily one of my favorite parts was the strangest, like, it's like the stereotypical version of what you think a mental asylum would be. So you get like the overly authoritative orderlies and like these people in straitjackets and like a lot of the stuff that you probably don't see anymore. It's just really, really entertaining. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. I'm glad. So back to other filmmakers. The one filmmaker who was getting high on the porch stoop, and the filmmaker who was, or the guy who was getting beaten up, the inmate that was getting beaten up.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of that scene, they made a remake of a movie called Blood Freak.
Called what? Blood Freak?
Yeah. Blood Freak is a pro-Christian, anti-marijuana killer mutant turkey movie.
Damn, and that's right up our.
It's the original is famous for being bad. And these guys are called the Drunken Yinzers out of Pittsburgh, and they made that movie. I don't think they had permission to remake that movie, but they did, and it's just as bad as the original.
That's pretty awesome.
You gotta stick to it, right?
No.
Sorry, taking these notes. This is hilarious, but anything else? Getting ready to go into the hard.
We can go to the hard hitting questions. Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh shit! You guys got actual questions.
No,
I was like, these guys are softballing me. This is great.
Two of the hardest questions ever.
Hardly.
Yes. Is there anything that you're working on that you can give us a heads up on without getting in trouble? And we can keep an eye out for.
Okay, well, if you notice here, the set that I am sitting in is also in the garage. The older long-haired gentleman who was making the movie within the movie of Hellvan, his name is Lewis.
Okay.
Do you remember Lewis but he is making a movie. We're actually going to film the first scene for it this Sunday. His movie is called Versus. It's not a horror film. It's not a comedy. It is it is just a kind of a I call it like an art house comedy.
Okay.
It's just a sequence of events that happen.
We've had somebody recommend.
It's his film. He's been talking about it.
Oh, sorry.
We're gonna start filming it this upcoming Sunday, but he's been working on it for years, and he's finally saying, "Okay, guys, let's actually make this movie." But this is one of the sets that he hasn't shot yet, but we've got it built. The set.
We need to take a picture of that and be like, "Hey, September 19th, we saw the set first." Everybody, you can.
And that's but he was my assistant director and a co-editor and co-producer, and he acted in the movie, and I was able to bounce ideas off of him. So let's see, we're trying to wrap up. It's a joint production sort of. Blind Sight Productions and the Slow Mutants. We're trying to wrap up Happy Hour Holocaust Part 3. So those are anthology movies. He already has Part 1 and Part 2 made. And then once he gets Part 3 finished up, we're going to package that up as a Blu-ray trilogy, the Happy Hour Holocaust trilogy.
Nice.
And yeah, so that's very quickly being tied up. But yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
just, as far as me personally, what I'm doing is just writing the script for Hellvan 2, and I'm going around the country trying to get people aware of the movie, and I really appreciate you guys giving me this platform.
Oh, no problem.
No, thank you. No,
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
And I hope that you guys enjoyed it and would recommend it to people.
Oh yeah, definitely. No problem with that.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. Yeah. I mean, it was very enjoyable. I mean, this is kind of like the reason we kind of started this whole podcast was everybody does the I Know What You Did Last Summers and the Screams and all these where it's very palatable and easy to, like very mainstream, but like movies like this, the regional slasher, those are fun. It's like this is what people used to go to the drive-in for.
Right.
Because like Friday the 13th is hitting theaters, but Slaughterhouse was doing the drive-in circuit. Yeah. And it's almost more enjoyable because it's not pumping out the same thing year after year.
Harder to get. You can there's a charm in its cheapness, you could say, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And when they try, at least some of those older movies are like, oh, they didn't even fucking try, like, but when they do try, they're genuinely entertaining. This area that I'm from has a history of independent horror. There's a guy named J.R. What's that?
Sorry to cut you off. I swear we've spoken to a couple directors that are in Ohio, and we're just like, damn. And there's some good ass. I swear, there's Burnside. Was Burnside in Ohio? Anthony Burnside.
That name is very familiar. Sounds
Burnside.
So
what the fuck? God damn it! The one where the girl is running, where the boyfriend and girlfriend are running in the woods.
Oh Christ, that's every other horror movie.
The one you're thinking of. Brightside.
Fuck. Seeing this, is what happens at the end of when it starts getting close. When you're just like, Brian, I hear your ice in your cup, and you're not being able to come up with
or Brightwood.
Brightwood.
That was New Jersey.
That was Jersey.
Yeah, it was like they filmed an entire movie on a running path.
Only 8 hours away, so close.
Yeah. So closer than Alabama, though.
But, no, there was a guy. There was a guy named his name is J.R. Bookwalter, and he made a movie called The Dead Next Door, shot on Super 8, and that came out in '84, maybe.
Right, The Dead Next Door.
The Dead Next Door by J.R. Bookwalter. And then there's another guy named Wayne Allen Harold, and he made a movie called Killer Nerd. But both those guys are Akron and Kent, Ohio. Akron and Kent are so close. But, they're like, they may as well be the same place almost. But yeah, Killer Nerd and The Dead Next Door, those are kind of, and then there were these guys called the brothers, not the Polonia brothers. Those guys are out of Pennsylvania. They made a movie called The Red Skulls, and they were Speed Freak Productions. The Campbell brothers, maybe, I think is what. Shit, that ain't right. But anyways, yeah, that Speed Freak Productions, they made a movie called The Red Skulls. And they came out of Kent, Ohio. So this area has like a history of independent filmmaking.
Yeah, like I swear we've talked to a couple of people that are from Ohio. Do it. you know. But yeah, after we stop recording, I gotta show you something funny for
Okay.
Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude,
So
amazing.
you guys are out of Vegas.
Yep, we're in
Yeah,
Vegas.
we're out of Vegas. Yeah.
It's very possible that I drive through Vegas like October 1st or October 2nd. And I might be able to
Yes.
say, "Hey guys, let's have a drink or
Oh,
let's go get some tacos."
dude,
Oh yeah.
whatever you want
Yeah?
to do, man.
Yes, sir. And I can
Yes,
meet you in person.
yes,
Awesome.
100%. We would completely enjoy that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Well,
Yeah, man.
yeah, we'll get each other's information after this. You know, unfortunately, we've had some people that they've hit us up. They're just like, "Hey, you talk to this guy. Can you give me their information?" We're just like, "No, what the hell? We're not gonna give you this person's information." You know,
Yeah.
so
Right.
you know, they're just like, "Okay, then." We're just like, "Dude, what? Like, how you gonna be like, hey, man, you know your sister's friend? Can you give me her number?" No, go
Uh,
talk to her yourself.
yeah.
Like, goddamn. Anyways,
Hook a brother
and
up.
uh, all right, Anthony, I've got a
Yeah.
big old list, but you got that last one.
Yeah. I got it. Was it the Red Skulls?
No,
I found that. Oh, which
to
one?
recommend
Oh.
suggestions.
Oh yeah. Is there
Question.
anything that you would suggest for us to watch?
Oh, like modern or
Could be literally any, like we've gone back to the 70s and the 80s. We've
Somebody
gone
told us to
forward.
watch
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
oh,
I
jeez.
don't- I
So
don't-
okay, you know, I've been doing shout outs to filmmakers. And how do you guys feel about shot on video movies?
yeah,
Are you guys pro shot on home video or pro
Oh yeah, we can
anti?
watch that. Yeah, definitely.
Because apparently there's people who are purists about it being shot on VHS and being edited on VHS and being presented on VHS.
Wow.
Okay, and somehow I have a couple, they're not girlfriends, but I have a couple of friends who are ladies.
yeah.
And
No.
yeah, Susanna, yeah, though my one friend, her name is Susanna Kapostashi. And she was based out of Michigan. I'm not sure if she's still living up there, but she just made a movie shot on video called Night of the Zodiac, which is pretty entertaining. And then a lady friend in Pittsburgh, Madeline Deering, and she just made a movie called Bathtub Shark Attack.
Hell
And
yeah.
I think I heard
she's
about
claiming
that one.
she's claiming Bathtub Shark Attack is the first shot on home video shark movie. So maybe it is. But yeah, Drew Marvick has a guest spot in Bathtub Shark Attack.
Oh, that's how I heard about that. Was through
Yeah.
Drew, yeah.
I actually the movie she made before that is called Spirit Animal. I actually like her first movie more. I think Spirit Animal is her first movie. I like Spirit Animal more than I like Bathtub Shark Attack. But yeah, those are two. I would say give those on top of everything else, all the other, movies I told you about, try and find those two.
Oh yeah, that's I found the IMDb's on those. Those look pretty cool. Yeah, because I've heard. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Check out the trailer for Night of the Zodiac. It's fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I've heard about, like, because we talked to a couple people, like, we talked to the Monster Mash guys, and they shot on 16, and they said, like, the scariness of shooting in 16 was that, like, you don't know what you have until you get it back. And
yeah.
and then somebody else had mentioned they were going to shoot in 16, and that's what they were scared of, just losing 4 weeks of work.
Yeah.
But like straight to VHS, or like VHS recorded, VHS edited, that's pretty cool. Like I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, there's they kind of, maybe to me it seems like they have too much hero worship of, you know, Donald Farmer and the Polonia brothers, and you know, these old school, you know, indie filmmakers from the 80s who were shooting on VHS, and they want to capture that feeling that those films had. And I was like, yeah, but you know, an HD camera is the same fucking thing, only it looks so much nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way Hellvan looks, by the way. I put a lot of time and energy into researching, like, okay, I want it to have a grainy 16 millimeter look, but still feel like a movie, you know?
No, it's a beautiful
No,
shot. It looks nice. Like every shot, just like, and you see the distance shots, like everything looks really, really cool.
it makes it feel more realistic, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's the truth. Like the biggest thing that I try to do is like put myself into those shoes, you know. And so when there's like we've seen a couple documentaries, you know, where it's like, damn, like that's, you know, the kind of that's the stuff that gets you, is if you can put yourself into their shoes and be like, damn, that could really happen, that could be messed up, you know. And so the feeling that your movie was like a small town, and then the feeling that, you know, there's always those like weird backstories about vans kind of things, you know. And so then you start going through and it's the same feeling of it, you know. And then you throw in the creepy factor of like the backflashes or whatever we call them, sorry, but with that yellow background, like, you know, those creepy things, like it really was like, it made it easy to watch the movie, you know. It wasn't like, oh shit, what just happened, hold on.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I made sure I was
fun, easy.
I was like, guys, I hate watching a movie that's shot at night and you can't tell what the hell is going on. That drives me crazy.
Anthony, I always forget, is it Mandy?
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's a what the fuck? Jack Nichols? No. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage. Such a great concept, great story, great everything about that movie, but then you physically cannot see it because they're like, hey, just get a lighter as the fucking light and record. And you're just like, you can't do that. You know, like
there's some dark stuff. And there's also some of the psychedelic lighting that he does.
Yeah.
Like, why is that light purple?
Dude, that was the only thing. Like it was such, because somebody messed with your girlfriend, you're going to go beat them up. And then so he was like, yeah, I could do that in real life. I could fight somebody. And then all of a sudden it's like, don't turn on any lights. Just do nothing but a sound movie. You're just like, God damn it. You know? Yes. But I guess in the last thing, what are your handles? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anything like that?
I'm active on Instagram as
yes,
Slow Mutants. That's one word, Slow Mutants. And we have a website, www.slowmutants.com. And eventually you'll be able to buy physical copies off of the website, probably by the end of October, maybe, or the end of November, just in time for Christmas.
That's exactly what everybody needs.
And you know, I'm hesitant to try and put the movie on Tubi. Tubi is so bloated with movies.
Oh yeah, it is.
That you spend more time surfing through the movie than you actually do watching the movie. I was like, I don't want Hellvan to. What's that?
But don't they have that, or we found a couple movies on Tubi because of other movies on Tubi, though, you know?
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
But I mean, in those cases, like when we found like Trash Juice and stuff like that, it was a great movie. You should check it out. It's messed up. It gets gross, and then you think, oh, it can't get grosser. It gets more disgusting.
Oh, great! It's so good. That's a good title too.
Yeah, it's great guy. Is it Doug Waugh? He's he loves the gross bodily fluids.
Yeah.
But I think like even for that one, I had to go like 6 searches down just to find it, where I'd just like search and then pick, search and pick, search and pick, and just to get into the deep searches.
Mhm.
It's like, if you like that, then you might like this. You're just like, you know what? I might like that. And it's like, well, hold on. You might like this. And you're just like, well, goddamn.
Yeah, I just made my selection. Damn it. Yep.
No, there's so many times like I'm the night owl. So I've got, well, she's still kind of a puppy. So I stay up late. And so like I stay up late to let my dog out and then put her in, you know. So there's been multiple times where like I'll be up late searching stuff, and all of a sudden I'll be like, if you watch that, watch this. And I'll be like, Anthony, I know it's fucking 11:30 at night, but look at this trailer.
Uh-huh.
You know? And Anthony probably hates me. Like the next morning he'll be like, Brian, fucking I actually go to work, bro. Like
Yeah.
fucking you're up at midnight, 1, 2 in the morning watching horror movies. Like fucking you can't be sending me shit until like 9 to 5. All right. That's your time to test me type of thing.
You got a window. You got a window, dude.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it gets fun to watch, you know, like your movie was fun, you know. We usually watch movies and drink with them. I think the first time we were sober, second time we had a drink, and it was fun, man.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I had fun. And this we drank a lot of beer making that movie.
Really?
And I want the audience to drink a lot of beer watching the movie. You know? Drink and watch the movie, everybody. Have fun. Or you know, whatever your poison is.
We do have that on our list too, where some people are just like, hey, you need to watch this movie while you eat, you know, have eaten edibles. Like, all right, we'll do that. So, but yes, no, it was very fun, man. It was super awesome. Appreciate your time. You know,
no, thank you guys.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. This podcast is available on all major podcast networks and YouTube. If you like what you're hearing, please follow, like, and subscribe to us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.